Yeah, Chivato is like, pues una, how do you say? I could have a beer, you know, I kind of hungover. I'm like,
He actually asked you?
yeah.
Like, for a beer?
Yeah, because I guess he saw that I was saying yes.
Yeah.
And I was being asked. I was like,
chingamos, güey.
So I kind of hungover. Can I have a beer? I'm like, I'm not getting you alcohol, bro. It's like, okay. A water will do.
He took the L.
See what? I got him a hot dog.
You haven't seen that on Scare Movie 1? You see Scare Movie 1?
I think so.
It's like ¿cómo va? It's a homeless guy and he's asking like, do y'all have $1? Can I have $1? He's like, oh, get away from me, bum. He's like he's homeless. He's homeless, but he's still a person. He's like, he's just hungry. Like, here you go, sir. Here's a nice sandwich. And they start walking away. And she's all happy. He's like, I said $1, bitch.
No, oh yeah,
He throws it at
him. I've seen it. Yeah. What's up, you guys? It's Sammy's doing some stupid shit. And it's Toby.
Trying to get Toby to focus on the camera.
Welcome back to episode 105?
4. Welcome, everybody, to CharroBeans podcast, a podcast where it's mariachi. I think I said that backwards.
Stuff and mariachi.
What is dyslexia?
¿Que eres disléxico?
¿Quieres qué?
¿Que eres disléxico?
So when you're dyslexic, estás bien pendejo, güey. Oh, shit.
No sé.
No, wait.
It's when you see
it's the one where you see shapes and shit? No. No, it's when you take a letter and you move it or some shit?
I think it's like everything you see is like mixed up, right? Like, yeah, you see a word and like the letters in the middle like
are moved?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think I do that with words. Is that a thing?
You have to get tested.
If I did get tested, I'd be tested for ADHD.
I don't think I have that.
Who? Me? ¿Por qué?
Because you don't have any of the signs.
Well,
I think you're just like not worn down. You're just tired, bro.
I'm just dumb, or I don't know.
You're just tired. Like you gotta go to sleep.
I do
at a good bedtime. When's the last time you got like 7 hours of sleep? 6 hours.
Last night. Dude, I had the weirdest dream.
And before that?
I had the... okay, it would have been a while, but...
Sadly.
Yeah, yesterday, whenever I sleep longer, I get weirder dreams.
Yeah, because you're resting, bro.
I guess, like, I get into, like, a real... What is it, REM sleep? Or...
I think...
Whatever it is.
I think deep sleep is where you actually get all the good rest.
I don't think that's an actual term.
Deep sleep? It is, because it's like...
Scientifically?
It's sleep, and then it's like REM sleep. And deep sleep is the one where you get like 50 minutes. You're supposed to get 50 minutes of deep sleep.
All I know is that I dreamt that my wife was in love with LeBron James.
I was going to make a joke, but... Me voy a callar. ¿Y luego?
It felt really real.
Bro, you're heartbroken? You're going to be like Vicente, just like...
Throw the bottle? Yeah. I could. I'm almost done with it, though. Or whatever the fuck. But we were back. Episode 104. Which you forgot. You thought it was 105. But we were back again.
Oh, we're
with
back
it.
To this? I thought we were talking about your dreams.
That's all I remember. Like, I woke up in a panic. You ever had a dream so real that you thought it was real? And then you woke up and you're like, oh, shit. Eso sí me da como cosa, like, because I wake up stressed, like my heart what's the word? Palpitating? Is that a word? But it's moving a lot, and then I wake up and I'm like, holy shit, that felt so real.
Dude, last time I had that, it was with, I was dreaming about Smile. Remember that movie?
The one where she smiles?
Dude, no mames, because if you see the movie, like, it's like, she's essentially like, seeing all these things, so people smiling, right?
Mm-hmm. And
you've seen the movie, right? So you know how it all works.
Yeah.
I just remember at the end, like I kept seeing all this shit, and I called someone to pick me up. I don't remember. I think it was my mom. Yeah, Like I was like, Mom, pick me up, like
In the dream?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then she picks me up, bro. Right. And then like we're driving away, and then my mom calls me.
Okay.
Like we're in the car with my mom.
Okay.
And then my mom calls me.
So you have 2 moms.
No, because I looked at my mom and she's just like, I'm like, yeah, vale verga, and then I woke up and yeah, it's like your heart's just like.
I thought your mom was just really progressive and.
No, well, you seen the movie now?
2 moms. No, yeah, I know.
Because like it shows how she's like she thinks she's safe.
No,
and
yeah.
then she's like.
You thought it was over, yeah, huh?
Yeah.
And then sale, sus.
That's what happened to me.
Yeah. No, but it does stress me out. Maybe that's why I only sleep like 3. No, I sleep at least 4 hours a night, at least.
That's not good.
But then I come home and I take naps, which I would do a lot in college.
Are they hour-long naps?
Depends. It's very embarrassing whenever I go to sleep and then my wife gets home because she works at nights, and then she gets home and I'm asleep.
Relating this to mariachi, sometimes you're falling asleep at churches.
Me?
Yeah.
While we're playing?
No,
it hasn't happened
during the sermon.
It hasn't happened to me lately. Why? Do you remember a time that I was falling asleep? Okay,
we can all attest. We could even call up Arturo right now. I don't know what church it was. I should remember. I'm guessing we woke up like early to meet.
Okay.
And el padre is like, tus 15 años es sobre hacerte mujer.
Was it one of those pastors that's like really, really, really slow?
No, well, I don't know.
Okay.
But I should remember like listening, and then all you hear is like, and we looked over, and that thing that woke you up, like your own like snore, because you're
it's funny because like now that you say that has happened to me a lot of times in my real life, where like I get a hint of my snore, and then I wake up like it wasn't me, because I'll be like.
Yeah, you did that. You'll do that.
I'm like,
we're all just like.
That's what I mean. Like I wake up like kind of like that. I don't know what was that, bro, but you know.
You're like tienen moscas, like okay.
Son ranas, güey. What the fuck? Okay, looking around, I'm like.
Chirranacuajos, güey.
Nah, yeah, but it's embarrassing because I do. I have always snored though. I think I've always snored.
Yeah.
I think it's a trait that my dad handed to me because to this day, I mean, he still snores pretty bad. But it's embarrassing, obviously, but it sucks because, like, yeah, when it's like at church, I feel bad because now I feel like I'm like looked down upon by Jesus. I'm like, Jesus, please, like,
Jesus, like,
yeah, come on.
No,
No, I was always scared as a kid, actually, of you know how he's bloody. It's
weird how that's like our symbol, like.
Yeah,
like this dead person just kind of like.
Sí, me espantaba de chiquillo. Like the Via Crucis, ahorita que it's Easter time. Like that always scared me. Like it was very traumatic as a kid. Like my parents or my mom would take me to the park and they would reenact the whole thing. And you know how like they try to like reenact it, so like they're like whipping him.
And then like he falls. He's supposed to have like breaking down and shit.
Yeah, and I remember the whole time just thinking like, damn, bro, like. Jesus, please get up. It's like I'm rooting for him, you know, because like they're just lo maltratan y todo. And then I can't believe we're doing this at the park. Like you know, like this is very violent.
Oh, it was at the park.
It was at Marine Park at here in Fort Worth.
Because in Mexico it was the whole like street. Because I remember like I was
street takeover.
Yeah,
like the cuz.
Yeah, wait, like
except it was
just people walking.
Religious.
And there's this guy like all bloodied up con ketchup. And like with the crown,
katsup,
like katsup, see,
katsup,
and then they even tell like I guess he has like cues, so like he'll fall on his knees and be like, "Tercera caída," you know.
Yeah. They narrate the whole thing.
Yeah.
So you don't get lost as.
Can you imagine being the guy? He just like maybe the reader's taking a little too long. El vato's like on his knees. He's like, "Bro, like, por favor." Like
when I first started growing out my hair, they told me that one time. They were like, "Oh, now you could be like Jesus in the Via Crucis." I was like, I was like, "Look at me, I'm gonna be fat Jesus, bro. Like I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that." I was like, "No, like I can't do that, you know." I can't embarrass myself. I can't even believe, you know, like
or like, cause I think I was in a video where like a guy takes his job too seriously, like one of the guy that whips, and like he keeps whipping him like really
bad?
hard, and
Like
to
real?
the point where like the fake Jesus enoja, and then he's like,
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That was a real video?
Yeah,
Oh,
because the
shit. No,
guy's
shit.
like. Vato se enojó, comes back.
She's like, damn, bro. Like,
he started like kicking and punching. He's like, wait,
the
like,
bro went like method acting. He's just like, no, like we gotta really sell this scene. I'm like, bro, we're not getting paid for this. Like,
he's like, bro, I only ate bread and water last night, bro. Like, I'm the character. What you mean?
oh man,
I got my gold coins and shit.
he kept his costume with. He went home.
No me he bañado.
No, I know. He's actually speaking. What did Roman speak? Romanian? No. That's stupid. No,
Is it in Latin?
Italian?
¿No era Latino?
I don't know, dog. Every time I watch the Jesus movies, they're in Spanish or English. So it makes me think that like back then they're just speaking. Like, you ever think that's wild? Like, they always make like these movies about anything, and like they don't use the language that it was like intended for.
Yeah.
Like, it's not historically accurate. It's like, I'm pretty sure they weren't using the same words I am.
It's like the Mummy. They're like talking in English.
Yeah. Like later on in the movie, like he starts speaking English.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then he has like a British accent. And you're like,
When they hit the English in barreras, bro.
yeah.
The fuck? Fucking Thanos, bro. Like aliens, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
how y'all know
exactly.
English? Like, what
So
the
I'm
fuck?
saying across the universe, and all these people are like speaking like perfect English.
That's a universal language, bro. Fucking Star Wars, apparently.
Yeah. También in Star Wars, yeah. So dumb. All I know is that in all situations, I would look Mexican probably. So someone's being racist against me probably. Because I'm brown.
You're not brown.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Look.
Yeah.
Hang on.
You're a little white.
I'm brown. Brown. Well, it's because you're like translucent.
No, yo sí estoy
Sí, güey. Estás como...
como una lagartija.
Sí, güey. I can see your veins.
The baby
You've shown them to me.
frogs.
They're all like blue and shit. You can't see mine because mine are like congested. Yeah, but
Back to mariachi.
mariachi. Oh, so today's charro topic of the MF day is, what was it? Who/what has had the biggest influence on mariachi music? Did I do it right? Because I'm not looking at it.
Oh, I was on my page.
So like, oh, it was a
Who/what has made the biggest impact on mariachi today? DM if longer.
Yeah, that was because I think this is a good topic because it's one thing that I always like discuss like as a teacher. I'm all like, mariachi didn't start the way we have it here in the classroom. You know what I mean? Like I wish I was like historically blessed where that I knew every single thing about history. There are people that do know about all the mariachi history and stuff like that, which I admire a lot.
Damn, we got a lot of these.
Yeah. So I thought it was a good topic, like, because obviously I feel like there's been a lot of input on what has made mariachi what it is today, or at least what like a lot of these new students who are barely beginning either in 6th grade or they're like on their last year of high school or even in college or even like the people that are barely starting in outside groups. I think they all have an opinion on, or at least an idea of who they think influenced them to get to where we are now, which is pretty crazy if you think about it. I mean, we're just playing Mexican music and we can earn credit for it. We can graduate in it. I'm referring to schools specifically that will let you graduate with the bachelor's in knowing how to teach mariachi music. Like, that's pretty wild considering that mariachi isn't a United States product, like it's a Mexican product, So I think it was a good topic. So we let it out for you guys to answer and discuss. So you want to read the first one?
Yeah, this is from. Sure, read ads or names.
I think they're all anonymous, bro.
This one doesn't say anonymous.
Just make them all anonymous.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the invention of streaming music has made mariachi more recognizable and accessible to foreigners and Americans. Without the spread of it, many places outside of Texas probably wouldn't have as strong of a presence when it comes to mariachi. What do you think about that?
Well, streaming in general is freaking remarkable. Think about it, dude.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Still.
I mean, think about it. Like, I can literally just like be like, "Have you ever heard this song?" No. Let me pull it up, and it's from like 1,000 years ago.
Like the availability.
Yeah, it's available to everybody in any situation at any time. I could go to a Mexican restaurant, and they can technically play whatever the hell they want because they don't have a record player or a cassette tape that you have to rewind or drop the needle on. Like, you can literally just play it. It's pretty crazy to me, unless it's not obviously on the streaming service, which, again, you got to pay premium for that. You have Spotify, you have Apple Music.
Apple Music.
Why?
Because it's cheaper.
Is it?
I have student discount. I pay like $5.
Wow. That's messed up.
Like con madre. I like
Have
it.
you had Spotify before?
No.
Oh, okay. Because it's pretty good.
Es lo mismo.
Yeah, I guess. But they were saying that something about it's different.
What?
I don't know.
The colors?
I don't know. Yeah. red or green.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's still pretty good. Like, I like the fact that you can do that. Because, I mean, how many times have you listened to a record? You, in your age of... I didn't want to say your age. I don't know how private you are. I don't know if have we said that? How old you are?
No, it's okay. People thought I was 31 last week, so...
Yeah, that's true. I think it's the beard.
At this point, I'm just going to keep it anonymous because fuck you guys.
I think it's because you have the height, too. Like, you have the height and you have the facial hair.
Pones ya van a morir, güey. Like...
Yeah, you should start getting colonoscopies.
Fuck.
Which is the one where the doctor goes up your butt?
Colonoscopy.
Is it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Colon?
I don't know, bro. I really think he'd have to take me out on a date first. I feel like we have to get to know each other before. Like, I feel a little awkward about just walking up in there. Would it be
weirder if, like, someone you knew was up your butt?
like someone that I met before?
Yeah, like, at least if it's, like, someone you don't... Like, a doctor you see, like, once a year, right?
Okay.
Like... You don't see them all the time. If it were someone you knew and it was like tu primo or something,
Bro, I'd be embarrassed.
Exactly.
Because I know what goes down. I know what goes down over there.
So why would you want to know them? Just be like, you know what? Just do your business. Escúpele, güey. You know. You know, que no duela.
He's like, sir, we have liquids for that. Like, I feel more comfortable, sir, if you escúpele.
Like, give me that shit.
Yeah.
Nah.
I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll do it myself.
What you looking for? ¿Cómo se siente?
Oh, man. This guy wasn't even a doctor. Like,
Parks and Rec.
Yeah, Parks and Rec.
What?
So, like, guy came in here and he touched my nuts or my wiener or something. He's like, that guy wasn't even a doctor. He's like, what? Yeah.
Bro, I love that fucking scene of how he got that concussion.
Cuando se pega en un
Because he's like, he's like on the wall. He's like,
oh, yeah. Knock yourself out real quick. I'm scared of hospitals, way. Like, I've only been there a couple times, but it's usually when I'm with someone else or something for something. But I stepped on a nail once. Like, I stepped on a nail.
I know.
And
what that means.
like, here's my foot, and estaba como in there.
Makes sense. Yeah.
And, like, you know how they say, I didn't realize this, but you're not supposed to take things out because you could bleed out?
Mm-hmm.
Well...
Oh, you took it out.
Well, yeah, es que yo andaba caminando. There was a board. Ya ves, my dad told me to help him with house renovations, which he had guys to do. So I'm like, why am I being forced to do this? I'm like, Dad, we got these dudes you're paying, you know? But todo chamaquillo. So I was like, I had just gotten started, bro. I literally just got started. He was like, get all this trash and just go put it over there. I'm like, all right. So aquí vengo con una tabla, and I'm walking, and like a minute in, I was wearing Converse. You know how Converse have like no padding whatsoever in the bottom? So it's literally like your foot and then like some of the rubber and the sole, yeah. So I can't explain that feeling. It went through the bottom, like on the curve of my foot. I just remember walking, and then the next second I'm on the ground. Like, I felt it go, and I'm like, and I just fell. I just literally fell. And I remember thinking like, damn, I really stabbed myself. And then I just pulled it out. And then I took off my shoe, and I was like, damn, I'm bleeding a lot.
Yeah.
And that was Thanksgiving Day. So then...
Pasar la peor, güey.
Pasar la peor, yeah. So I remember thinking like, damn, is the hospital even open? Like, But
Yeah,
that's when at the hospital, right? Could you imagine? Just like it's Thanksgiving, we're not gonna come in onto the doctor. Just like, sorry, there's no nada. Can you hold off your possible life-threatening injury until tomorrow?
Can you put a band-aid over it?
Yeah.
Wait till Friday, you know?
Can you keep can you keep pressure on it for 24 hours? Like, damn, okay. So it's Thanksgiving Day, and then my sister took me, and I was more worried about. Do you have your tetanus?
Tetanus shot?
Yeah. Apparently, I wanted to make sure I had it because if it was a rusty nail, I could have died or some shit like that. But I'm still here, so it's all good.
Chivato,
How did I get on that?
I don't know.
From streaming services for Mariachi.
I don't know. But that's a good point.
It's a good point because a lot of the music that I had to get to this day, like I had to get it first through a physical CD.
True.
I never had cassettes, so I was never that far back.
Our next one.
Yeah.
During my senior year, I made it to the JV group. Oh, congrats. But I wasn't that happy because it was my senior year. So then I talked to my teacher and he gave me a shot. What? Oh, a shot to audition for Guitarra y Golpe.
I'm like, what?
The twist, bro. Like, and I guess he saw something in me and let me in. If I hadn't done that, I probably wouldn't be there. I'm where I'm at right now. I probably would have quit after I graduated and never gigged outside of school. I started Mariachi in high school and not in middle school like a lot of my peers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, me too. Well, no, I started in middle school, but I started a year late. I started in 7th grade.
Right.
So I guess his point is like schools, Mariachi in schools.
Mariachi in schools,
which I do think is one of the biggest impacts.
I think it's a big compliment for I guess programs in schools, especially because think about it. A lot of these kids, especially nowadays, a lot of the schools and students now, like I don't know what kind of water they be drinking, but they're good, man. Like they have a lot of talent that they got. I get more out of like seeing a middle school that's like, because I'm me as a middle school teacher, I'm like, I've seen these kids, what level they could be at, at a middle school, but I also see like these that like really excel. And I'm like, damn, dude, like think about it. Like if you're in 6th grade a year ago, you were like still picking your nose and like coloring inside the lines. And then in the span of a year or two,
I think they were pre-K.
I'm like, I went pretty slow in the education system.
I'm like, bro.
I'm like, I mean, to this day, bro, I still me chingo unos mocos. But what I'm saying is like they could be a year or two away from that, and they're singing in Spanish. They're counting. They understand how to play in tune, out of tune. They understand key signature. Like. Think about it, like a kid. They had recess a couple years ago, like where they would just like literally go outside and play.
I miss recess.
I do miss recess. I did a lot of things during recess.
Can you?
Not bad things. I meant like I still remember to this day, and I wonder if she's actually listening. If she listens, I guess you know who you are. So I used to be cute at one point.
Oh, me too.
Yeah. So, and I say that only because they told me I was cute. I'm not saying that to gloat. I'm saying that because apparently I was cute, right?
I peaked in 1st grade.
Huh?
I peaked in 1st grade.
I think I peaked I went through an ugly duckling phase, like 1st, 2nd, 3rd grade.
Same. I haven't come out yet. Estamos.
Represent. Yeah. But I know for sure, like, I can't really say, like, I had girls when I was in elementary school. So I peaked pretty early. You know what I mean? Like they were running at me, bro. I don't know. I guess I just had what the kids call the Riz, So like I remember to this day at recess, like running from them.
Oh yeah, me too.
That's how down bad they were for me.
And it sucks. I mean, for me, it was more like in like kindergarten to 1st grade.
Okay.
Cause like it's like you said, like girls like they don't know how to express it either, so they just kind of chase you around.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Right? Like they would chase me.
Yeah,
and I'm like, this is peculiar because I
Right.
didn't know how to feel, you know.
But
So
like,
I would run.
that's para ese tiempo, pa qué, you know? Because you have no interest in girls. You don't have like anything going on to like
You're
do
like, to this day.
To this day, like, ahorita que sí, ya no. You know, ahorita que sí, ya estoy feo, güey, ya pa qué,
See,
you know?
that's what I mean by I peaked, you know, by now. But recess was that time. I would just run from girls
Damn.
a little bit, yeah.
And
one time,
you were out of breath, bro.
one time I had an intervention. Or not intervention. What's the word? I was ambushed by 3 girls because they knew I had a crush on another girl. So like they sat me in the corner
like, how could you?
Of the playground, and they all 3 sat me there, and they were all like, so why do you like so and so? And I remember just being, dude, this is like early. And I was already in drama, bro. That's how like I found out about drama, you know? Like, so why do you like so and so? I'm like, you know, at that time you're like, I don't like her. Bro, I'm in love with her. Like, like
Nos vamos a casar.
In my head, yo ni sabiendo nada de nada, you know, like, yeah, I was in love with her, you know. But in my head, I still remember that clear as day, like sitting in that playground and them confronting me about my love with this girl, apparently. And I peaked. After that, it was all downhill. It was all downhill.
Same.
Yeah. But anyway, what was he saying? Oh yeah, so like given a chance, I mean, think about it too. He's saying that he made it on golpe, right?
Yeah.
Because I got to play guitarra de golpe, which is cool because I like golpe because it's one of the more traditional instruments in mariachi. Because that's how mariachi started, with the golpe and a harp and then 2 violins. So you don't really see it in a lot of like these top groups anymore. So like really, when I started learning golpe, it was like, damn, like I'm really learning like a historical instrument. Like Gaspar Vargas, when he started the mariachi, like he had a golpe. And like nowadays, you don't see it anymore. You don't even see them like for sale or anything like that, which is crazy. But like for sure, I think if I didn't start playing golpe my freshman year of high school, I probably wouldn't have been in the group. I played golpe all 4 of my years.
You played well.
I did,
here and there.
but my main instrument was golpe. Like anytime we had a performance, anytime we had like a concert, I played golpe. And Pepe would play vihuela, and I would play it for the concerts, like because he would go up to sing.
Or for competitions.
Or for competition, yeah. And that's when I would play vihuela. But all the other years, my main instrument was a golpe, which is really cool. Like I liked it. And you got to play one too. I mean, you technically have a traditional instrument with harp.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not golpe. What the fuck?
But yeah, I mean it's cool because again, like it shows that like a lot of these instruments, if they're still taught, the legacy of a guitarra de golpe will still continue to be there. I mean, look, you can see it here, like in the poster, you can see it more on your side. This is a Silvestre Vargas with what I'm assuming is, I mean, someone who knows history. This is a guitarra de golpe. I'm thinking it's maybe what's his name is Gaspar, which is his dad. I wonder if that's actually his.
Pretty sure, yeah. Man.
I'm guessing that would be his golpe, right?
Or his.
Yeah, like you can see it down here where I'm pointing at. But this is a golpe. Let's do it. Let me read the next one.
Oh, yeah, no?
Are you reading the DMs?
Yeah. Start with the biggest ones first.
I'll read this one. So, what was the theme again?
This one's next.
Yeah, what was the theme again? We got to repeat it in case someone's barely tuning in. Who or / what has made the biggest influence in mariachi music today?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay. So this person says, I feel like there aren't really big mariachi artists currently, especially since the passing of Vicente Fernandez, Joan Sebastian, Juan Gabriel. The oldest artist is maybe Alejandro Fernandez, and I wouldn't consider him a mariachi, you know. Mexican music is a bit more Americanized, influenced by black culture, with the designer clothing, chains, cars, themes, drug references. Someone that I believe is currently influencing mariachi right now is Angela Aguilar. She obviously comes from a very popular Mexican / mariachi family. Even though I don't personally listen to her, she still maintains the instrumentation of mariachi with a more modern sound / modern theme. Luis Miguel is the one that has been carrying mariachi music for a while as well. What do you think? We'll start with you. Toby's like, I got an opinion. Let's go.
I don't know. I don't know if I
agree with what specifically.
Who let's break this down.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah. Nah, vas a ver madre, güey.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
go ahead.
not all.
I was just gonna say, like, I do think that since the passing of Vicente Fernandez, I can't. Well, that's what they said, right? He was like the last one of those big mariachi singers that was alive. Pedro Infante, Jorge Negrete. I'm talking about the bells, obviously. So it's, what is it? Pedro Infante, Jorge Negrete, Javier Solís, Jose Alfredo Jimenez. I mean, there's more. Antonio Aguilar was back then a big influence. Vicente, obviously, like, just to name a few. But once he passed away, I mean, I kind of agree with the way he's saying that, like, a lot of the music that we kind of hear of right now is influenced, not, which isn't bad, but it's influenced a lot on other genres that are maybe more Americanized. Like, for example, like right now, lo que se está haciendo muy grande is like actually there's a term for it. Because you know how narco corridos became a thing, like tumbados, corridos tumbados. Now they're adding to those corridos que tenían nomás corrido instrumentation of corrido tumbado. They're adding the sound of how he was saying, like, black culture. So they take 808s. You know what 808 is? It's that very, very low bass frequency.
Okay.
Where you hear in rap music, like when you hear a car passing by, you hear.
Yeah.
So they're adding elements of that into that of their narco corrido or tumbado type of sound. So now it becomes almost like a hip hop corrido tumbado. Does that make sense? So, like, again, it's not bad. And if you listen to them, like, I don't have anything against them because honestly, like, they sound cool to me. But they have their own sound. Like, everything is always mixing with one thing or another. Because if you would have asked me if, like, something like that would mix with, like, 808 production of hip hop and stuff like that, I don't know if I would say, like, oh yeah, that sounds like something I listen to. But that is what is becoming popular on radios in Mexico, or even here with all the, like, la juventud ahorita de los niños, que the cuz, if you will, like, that's what they're listening to, like, literally listening to stuff like that, which is a blend of all of these different genres. But I guess back to his main point, saying that there isn't, like, a big singer like that that's, like, currently making mariachi, like, super relevant. I mean, since Vicente, I mean, can you say there is anybody? Because his argument is that he's saying Angel Aguilar, which...
Well, I thought, like, the question was, like, biggest impact, which I don't think has to be artistic, like, essentially, you know?
Okay.
Because it can also be the people behind the scenes, like, or not behind the scenes, just, like...
that's a good point.
Because it also be, like, the mariachi directors. I think they could have a big impact, too, like, lo que es como Carlos Martinez, Chuy Guzman...
You're talking, for those who don't know, those are, like, the musical directors for these big mariachis.
Who make all these arrangements that you guys hear, like, in recordings, you know?
Okay.
I think, like, yeah, like, Vicente is a big impact, and Juan Gabriel, pero ¿quién hizo los arreglos, you know? Who made that style sound the way it is?
So you're going, know? Like, behind the scenes.
Well, I'm going to, like, where, like, kind of, I want to get, like, to its root, you know, which is the thing is these people that, like, have their family, like, rooted in this whole style
of mariachi, right? You're talking about mariachi specifically. Okay.
Yeah, like, well, esa es la pregunta, you know, like, and I think, like, that's where it all really is, you know, like if like you got these people together and they all made, like, an opinion, everybody's gonna follow that opinion, you know, because I think they're the ones with the biggest influence, because they have, you could say, like, the street cred, right? Because they come from this family and they have, like, the reputation because they've done things that that you hear everywhere on radios. That's them doing all this work, you know.
Are you talking about someone specifically?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm talking broadly because, like, I can't really think of anyone. Okay. You could even think of, like, Eddie Lopez, who's made a lot of arrangements that you guys have heard and you probably don't know it was him. Like, Cien Años.
The one that was covered with Maluma and Carlos Rivera. Yeah.
You know, like, I think those people are the ones that really have, like, this huge impact of how, like, mariachi, where mariachi's heading and how it's going to sound.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you think about it, because I don't think that's... I could be wrong, But when he made that arrangement for that came out with, I mean, it was a popular song. I mean, to the point where,
Yeah.
I mean, a group like us, like Mariachi Allende, will get asked that song specifically.
Exactly.
You know, and if you're a Maluma fan, casually, like if you're a Maluma or a Carlos Rivera fan, these guys don't traditionally sing mariachi or anything, but they have this song that is a mariachi arrangement. Now you're opening up that door, to someone that listens to Maluma.
Yeah.
Oh, have you heard that Maluma song with mariachi or whatever? Now they know what that is.
Because before
right.
that, like, you have Pedro Infante, Jorge Negrete. Pero ¿quién hacía esos arreglos? Rigoberto Alfaro? Oh, I don't know about him. Pero Rubén Fuentes.
Don't ask me because honestly, I don't know but you're right. Like someone had to have written those arrangements for someone who now has become an icon of mariachi. Or at least that type of music, mariachi music.
Yeah, because it's good that you have a good sound. Like, you know, Vicente had this great sound, but like the people in the back that are giving you this like really nice background or umbrella, whatever you want to call it, they're the ones giving like it's like crema del taco, you know, what gives it that taste, you know.
Wow.
So that's why I think like artists matter because they represent it and they put it out there.
Yeah.
But the ones that put that nice little ribbon and that little picture, that's the guys in the back.
Yeah.
You know, like Rubén Fuentes really shaped a lot of things. You know, like
Rubén Fuentes.
Like writings of his, you still hear today, and it sounds like it's from this era, but it's from his time. It's almost from him.
It's kind of like how they say, you know, music that's ahead of its time, or music that is timeless.
He was.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Because like, at the time that was new, and if that got adapted today, you would still think that it could be current because of the sound, the way that it's arranged, the way that it's written. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because I mean, mariachi, the way it kind of got started is, and I always tell this like to my students, but just like people singing about what was going on in their town.
Yeah.
I mean, Dr. G would tell us that all the time. Like they talked about real life, like things that they just saw in their town, like the trees are growing, so let's just write about the trees or this or that. And that's what the music was to them. But now it's like it's so much broad, like it's such a spectrum to what music becomes.
Yeah, and it came from that. So like they saw that structure and they're like, okay, copy and paste, you know, or like this time make a little bit different, and next time different, next time, you know, and it shapes into what you have today, you know.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's kind of like, pero.
So let me ask you this: so are you saying that like, so these big artists like the ones that I've mentioned? Because this goes back to what what's his name was telling me. Dr. G was telling us in his episode where he talked about how Pedro Infante didn't want to be a singer, like for mariachi. Or sorry, did not want to be a singer like the mariachi. Like, yo no soy charro, I'm an opera singer.
Yeah.
So when it goes back to that, you're right. Like maybe the person that's in the back writing these arrangements. So would you say that they were more of an influence?
I think they were more of what's the word? Someone that projects it. Like there's someone that makes, they are noticeable to the people, and like when the people hear that, they're like, that's kind of cool, you know, like
okay.
And then like they're the ones that bring it out.
Okay.
You know, because I mean, Rubén Fuentes said himself, he's like, pues yo no canto muy bien, pero yo escribo y ellos la cantan, you know?
I think what we're describing currently is kind of the disconnect between producers and rappers in hip hop. Because a lot of people say the same thing about hip hop. Yeah. The reason I say that is because I really love hip hop.
Yeah.
A lot of hip hop artists and rap artists, and how he was saying with black culture. I mean, hip hop has been part of black culture. I mean, they created it, you know?
Yeah.
So again, a lot of people to this day now, especially now with how, bro, like there's like kids that are like in middle school or like early high school making beats for artists like Drake. Or, you know, for all these different artists that, you know, are popping, you know, right? And really they're making beats out of their room, but like who's the one that gets the biggest recognition? But obviously the artist, because they're the ones that perform the song in stadiums, you know, put it out on a CD and everything. But who produced the beat?
Yeah, and I always hear too, like maybe he's a good rapper, right?
Yeah.
But like I always hear like, dude, that's a sick beat. Like that beat is like, it's what brings it out, you know. Like
and that's why when you see a lot of those comments, you could or like comments like on YouTube videos, a lot of them say like, dude, this is like producers get such a underrated. I think what we're saying is that a lot of these people who shaped mariachi are underrated because if it wasn't for their influence of just giving them like, I'm comparing their the musical arrangements to beat makers or producers in rap, because what they both do is they put it out there for someone who has the talent, like to sing it or perform it or whatever, and they're the ones that make it popular because it's now becoming this huge thing. But the ones who actually created, you know, not to say one's better than the other, but I'm saying we got to pay attention to those people that did it.
And it's,
first.
I mean, like for me, like in sports for me, right? Like, yeah, you see all these great athletes, but who are the ones? You like, you know how many people like spend their time to make like someone like, I don't know, like Tom Brady. You know, you have like a coach behind them and like a nutritionist behind them, like doing all this work to be like, you know, you have to train like this, you have to eat this, you have to rest. We're gonna get these things for you for recovery. You know, a lot of people go into like putting out what you see, but you don't see like a lot of the stuff that can be appreciated from them.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's what I think that happens with mariachi, you know, like if you ask a Mexican right now who Ruben Fuentes was, they're not gonna most likely
That's a good fucking point.
Yeah, no one's gonna like really be like pues un actor, you know, because it sounds like an actor name. Like
Ruben Fuentes to me, I did think he was an actor once because I think there's a Mexican actor, I think his name is Ruben Blades or something like that. Or something like that. I always thought it was him until I learned mariachi history. Yeah. And I was like, oh, Ruben Fuentes. Oh, it's another dude. Like, yeah. Or like when I would like see, you know how like, they have like guapangos de Ruben Fuentes or whatever. Yeah. Like I was like, who is this dude they're always playing for? Like, you know? I'm like, why are they always like,
who's Ruben Fuentes?
Homenaje a Ruben Fuentes. I'm like, what did he do or what?
¿Por qué?
Like, yeah, me all ignorant like chiquillo. I'm like,
el presidente.
Yeah. No, but yeah, man, that's a really good point. That like, if you ask, I mean, yeah, we've seen this before. We've talked about this, but like, people at gigs don't know. They'll hire a mariachi, run out of songs within the first 3 songs because they want the idea of a mariachi, but they don't know mariachi.
They just want they want the aesthetic too, like you know, like have a traditional Mexican party. Like, so tienes un mariachi or tienes una banda or something, you know.
And then they serve like Tex-Mex. Yeah, you know, like so it's like.
It's like hard crust tacos.
Or es ahorita que va a ser tiempo de 5 de Mayo. No, everybody is suddenly reminded that mariachis exist and that we are the official music of Mexico, like of the whole country, mariachi music. So that's when like, oh, we're having a 5 de Mayo party. You know, we absolutely need a group. So we get there and it's like, oh, we played at the retirement homes. Well, that's different. Yeah. Retirement homes, they're just happy to see other people, I guess.
They're happy to be noticed, bro.
Yeah, like, los viejitos are like, you know, eating their pudding, you know, like, yeah. Go. No, well, they're always like American too. Like, so, los güeritos, ya viejitos. I like the young people.
So back in my day.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a really good point, man. Damn, this sounds like a good podcast. I like.
Oh, is that it?
Those were the DMs. Someone else said mariachi in school programs, which we kind of talked about. So yeah, I think mariachi to this day, man, and me as a teacher, I see it every day. Like, a lot of the best teachers now, and I'm seeing this firsthand because as a director, like I interact with a lot of people that I performed with. I think I told you this last time, right? Like. Back when I was at Texas State, I was like the young vihuela player that came in and started performing with the group. Everybody there was older than me, but everybody was in there for college, and they were going to graduate in a couple years to become educators. Okay. So like in that, if you look at the picture of like Texas State's group back then when I was there, like everybody there has gone on, almost everybody, has gone on to become an educator. Like with me included. So like now when I see like these people that I've seen them in their good times and their bad times, and you know, it's just like I'm reminded of a lot of stuff. And then when I see them, you know, they're educators. They're like the people that are molding the next couple of musicians. So I'm like, damn, that's fucking crazy.
And you know what? I'm going back to Ruben Fuentes because I guess I'm a big fan. I don't know. But
I'm like, damn, bro. Never mind.
He said it because there's interviews of him talking about like, you know, where mariachi's heading, and he said it like in the US, like se le tiene más amor al mariachi because you have these schools that like and he said it like this was like I don't know what it was. I want to say 70s 80s. It was an old interview. Yeah. And he said it like, you know, and in the US, like in the South, you see a lot of groups coming from schools and like they sound really good. You know, like you don't see that in Mexico at all. So I can see how like obviously educators that are in those schools teaching mariachi are like
Right.
they have to be one of those big movements because they're the ones that are raising a new generation for it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And like if Ruben Fuentes said it, bro, like I
Yeah.
said, if someone big says it, everybody's gonna say it.
Yeah.
You know, because
No.
it like they have a different vision, they have a different point of view because they're like at the top.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, now that you say that, now it tells me también like, I mean, we interviewed Roberto Lopez on here, who was the first Mexican American mariachi member for Mariachi Vargas. But then how he's saying like the United States or just in general, I mean, a lot of these musicians that are in the top groups today are American.
Yeah.
And they're representing mariachi music from Mexico in a whole different spectrum. Like, look at Mariachi Sol de Mexico, look at Mariachi Los Camperos, Mariachi Cobre, who have always been...
Who come from schools that used to do this whole thing, like competition stuff, you know?
Oh, yeah. I mean, look at all of members from Sol de Mexico. Look at members from Mariachi Los Camperos coming from Texas, which is great because, I mean, that's where we're from. But a lot of them, again, like, you can trace back their roots to starting in mariachi programs at their house, in their house, and then eventually into their middle school, into their high school, into a college career. And now, I mean, when you watch YouTube comments of like Sol de Mexico or Cobre or Camperos watching these videos and stuff like that, they say on there like, "Mira esos americanos like tocan bien y can and they appreciate the fact that we're, again, some of them will even say something like that where it's like, you know, like, mariachi's from Mexico, and as you can see, like the Americans are doing way more than we are, you know.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show, like, you know, if you can start it into like a school system, and become known to be in one of those top groups, I mean, there's your influence right there. Like, what has influenced? Now that these new recordings are all people that are Mexican American or coming from this, I mean, Steve Carrillo speaks perfect English. Or from Mariachi Cobre, perfect English. Like when he sounds and talks in English, I mean, he's American, you know. So he has like una voz americana, you know. But again, like these reference recordings that probably mariachis are playing in Mexico right now come from Mariachi Cobre, you know. So it's crazy to see like the influence that came from right here también in America. Someone else said Rigoberto Alfaro, which again.
Agreed.
Big influence. I think even today it's still too. I mean, ya está viejito, you know, and he's still coming out to. I mean,
he's
last
still
year
arranging, right?
he's still arranging. He came out to last year's Albuquerque conference, and he was there. He said it was going to be his last one.
Oh, bro.
Yeah, he had said he had mentioned that it was probably going to be his last one. But yeah, once I'm guessing he's getting a little older, you know, and I don't know, you know,
he's done enough.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, he has, you know, like the amount of arrangements, kind of like you said, he's made for artists. I mean. You wouldn't know that unless you look at the back of the CD and you look up, you know, arranged by Rigoberto Alfaro, you know, and so his influence can be spread all over. Even though, again, you ask a Mexican, you know who Rigoberto Alfaro is? Is that an actor? You know, kind of like that. You know?
Is that a comedian?
Yeah,
Netflix special.
And they to be telling you like, no, sir, but do you know Junior H? Like, exactly. You don't know cum music. You would know, bro. Oh, look, someone wrote CharroBeans podcast. Hey, appreciate you. Bro. He's just like, just kidding. I mean, I like to think that this podcast, if anything, is just trying to shed a light on mariachi not being so serious. I don't think we've ever been serious people. Like,
I think we should put out a new advertisement. Like, don't trust us for facts. Or because sometimes because sometimes like we'll ask each other something like, how does this work? Like, don't go around like, hey, I heard this in CharroBeans, like this has to be true. Like, no way. Like, we're literally trying to keep it together. Like, you know, like I can barely talk. Sammy hasn't slept in days. Like like, bro, you know,
I can't be trusted with what I've been sleep deprived. What I'm saying.
Don't quote us. Like, just get them an idea. Like, okay, like right now we're talking about like history. Okay,
Yeah.
don't be like Roberto Alfaro said this. No way. Like I think he said it. Like you know, like it's nothing. No, son.
Yeah.
This
It's not
is
100% accurate, you know.
yeah.
It might be.
Or 50. Like it's 50-50, bro. You know.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess I know
yeah.
what you're saying. Like, keep in mind, like we are not experts.
like we didn't study coming here. Like we didn't come up here like, hey, when I talk about like Rigoberto
Yeah.
en los 80. No, like it was just like I think that was him.
Yeah.
You know, and it could have been like, because I can picture some people like, no mames, güey, estos güeyes no saben nada. No, we don't.
Yeah,
that's
we
exactly
really
right.
don't, yeah.
Like,
I think you got us there, bro. Like,
Yeah.
because we've said it before. Like, I'm a lot of the information I got was from talking to people who are the experts. You know.
Yeah.
So like, I can't be held accountable for what I have said. You know, I'm going based off of the things I'm kind of sure
from what we can remember. You
right,
know, like,
exactly. So
like we're in the heat of the moment. Like I could have said something like
because I can see that someone just home like. Like that's not even right. I'm like, well, it probably isn't.
Just get the main idea.
Yeah,
right?
get the
like,
main idea. Exactly.
It's our opinion too, so it doesn't matter.
Someone right now is like writing us as a reference. Someone else said El Zombie, aka Noe Garcia, Taylor Fuentes from their YouTube tutorial vids. I think those two guys, if anything, they are one of the bigger. Well, they are the bigger YouTube reference things, and I can only say that too because I mean. Me as a teacher, like they will tell me, like, "Hey, I've seen these videos on YouTube that they teach you how to play this song and this song." So they have. I think Zombie was one of the first ones to like really start posting consistently on YouTube back then. So, I mean, he's been around for a while, So he has that reputation as well. Taylor Fuentes, I've never seen too many of his videos, but from what I have seen, he does a lot of tutorial help as well. So I think those are good things to do to like practice songs that like. Maybe your director hasn't given you, like if you're like because I'm assuming a lot of students watch this, or even like chambeadores at work, like in Mexico and stuff like that, because you'll see the comment where it's like, muy buen video, me puede dar un tutorial de so and so, so and so.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it's like nice video, but can you please put out this one? It's just like, dude, like no ves que he just tried to put one out, But those are always funny to me. They're like, muy buen video, pero por favor, puedes hacer esta. Ya es la tercera vez que te he pedido.
Yeah,
it's just like, damn, like they always get me. But yeah, I think for sure, like, well, nowadays, I mean, social media is a marketing tool. Like, so for anything, I mean, TikTok will give you millions of dollars for putting out like funny videos. Like, that's pretty crazy. Like, you could be just some random kid who started posting like quality content, and now all of a sudden, like, you're verified on Twitter or YouTube or Facebook or whatever, right? And kids, I mean, I've had assignments at my school where I tell them, what do you guys want to be when you grow up? You know how many people told me streamer?
Oh, for real?
They wrote in their paper like a streamer or a YouTuber, or I want to be a like verified on this or whatever. Like that's their career path, which isn't bad, but how many of those are gonna actually do that? You know what I mean? If I'm not trying to shit on anybody's like hopes and aspirations, They're like,
but the ones that are famous is because they're so different, and they're so like organically funny, like.
And you have to cut through the noise, because like now that they say it's like it's never been easier to go viral or become like an internet sensation. Because think about it. Back then, when you used to go viral, you were like a celebrity because YouTube was the only thing you could really put out. Like you would become popular on YouTube because of a viral video.
Yeah.
Now everything I scroll on TikTok is viral. Like it's gotten like 50K likes or whatever, and it's being on their For You page. But now you're just like a footnote in every single swipe.
Yeah.
You're just like, haha, that was freaking hilarious. And
because it's so easy to go viral, it's also easy to fade out. Because once you're viral now, the next second someone else is, and now you're like in the back. You're old news,
And again, it's not easy to do. Like that's the thing I heard. Me going to mass communication school when I was in college. I mean, that was my career. It was you have to cut through the noise, and by noise meaning now you have to cut through all the social media, all the things that you could watch on streaming services. If you still watch TV, if you need to go to the movies, like how are you going to make your content different than all that enough to stay relevant? Like it's hard, bro. It's hard. But a lot of students think that it's easy because it kind of is, but again, it's not a career path.
I can see it turn into a career path though.
It can. No, I would love if this show itself became something that, replaces everything we have to do in our lives, where this is our only job. But I mean, you have to cut through the noise. Like it's hard to do. It's not easy. But definitely like with YouTube and stuff like that, especially for mariachi, like now it is easier than ever to try to put something out there and try to make mariachi relevant and keep making it relevant. Because again, I think the only way mariachi dies is if we stop talking about it or we stop using it as a tool to elevate Mexico or the country it came from. Because I think because people ask us all the time, like, do we think mariachi will die? People say that like Tejano isn't as popular as it used to be. Tejano was blowing up when Selena was around and all that and those groups. Tejano is like, I mean, I only hear Tejano if I'm in San Antonio, honestly, which isn't bad. I mean, I personally don't like Tejano. Robert would be like, oh, why don't you like Tejano, bro? Like, because he lost it.
Are you stupid?
What are you, stupid or something? Yeah. But it's not as popular as it once was, So there could be, I mean, people can argue right now that mariachi isn't as popular. I mean, it's popular in schools, and right now it's a UIL event in Texas, but I mean,
it's more like a sport now.
Or in Texas, it's
very competitive.
It's very competitive. I mean, you breathe and they decrease points. Like
too deep.
We got him. We fucking got him. You just see him take a breath. But for sure, it's becoming crazy here, like in Texas. It basically feels like the Super Bowl, of musical events. And at the same time, we're still fighting band and orchestra for relevancy. And choir,
Well, I think we've got it now. In Texas, at least, I feel like we have we have a good chunk of attention, I feel. At least like in the South and Central.
I believe that this has been the biggest step forward in mariachi being relevant. Yeah. I agree with that. Do I think that will one day be as big as band and orchestra?
No. I mean, at the same time,
time will tell, bro.
At the same time, we are in the U.S. where there's like a stronghold in certain things that you can't really change, if you know what I mean.
Are you referring to the fact that we have to make ourselves relevant?
Like we're always gonna be seen as not from here,
I was gonna say we're not as what's the word? We're not as disciplined as orchestra or band.
No, I think we're there.
No, we know we are.
But like to be recognized for it?
To people that don't play our music. Let me tell you why. I still remember, do you remember Solo and Ensemble?
Yeah. I think I did it too.
So if you don't know what that is, and this is your first time ever hearing that, Solo and Ensemble is basically like, before we were relevant in UIL or doing big competitions like that, you could do solo and ensemble for mariachi. And I remember this back when we were at Northside back then, but they allowed us to go in front of a judge and perform what we had, and they would give you a rating. Basically, you get a rating for the group. I remember we went to a solo and ensemble performance, and when we got there, we're the only mariachi. Like, everybody else that was there for like band or orchestra or whatever, but we were in this huge facility we're the only ones that are fully in uniform, Mexican uniform, right? We're all predominantly Hispanic kids. I don't think at the time we had any, at the time I remember, I don't think anybody of us was a different race or a different,
wait, what?
From a different place.
Go back, come on.
Like when we were there, like all of us, we're all Hispanic kids from Northside, so we were all in traje. We all showed up to this place and we went. And I still remember this to this day because I remember we were walking into the place and like they shouted at us like, ha, ha, hi, hi, like a bunch of güeritos from, I don't know, wherever. And they were just like making fun of our attire,
Okay.
So like to me, that signaled that like they don't respect what we're trying to put out there as far as our discipline and trying to make it as relevant. Like, because that's why we were there. We were trying to get a rating just like everybody that was there. Same thing as the orchestras. They're all trying to get a rating and do everything. But I feel like mariachi especially, like if you don't play it, you just think of it as where you already see mariachis. in a scene on a sitcom where we're just playing like La Cucaracha or Mariachi Loco or something like that. Like that, we don't have these huge arrangements with a lot of musicality and stuff like that. It could be seen very differently from someone who doesn't play the music that we play. Almost like if it wasn't, what's the word? Not proper, but if it wasn't like as disciplined, that's what I'm trying to say.
I think you're still going back to my point though.
What's
like
your point?
because it's not from here. Like it's gonna be seen as something that's secondary. Like I can picture someone, like a higher up, right?
What do you
Like-
mean by
like-
a higher up?
I don't know how the system works for a district, but someone that like is in charge of like budgets or
Oh, okay. So
you know-
yeah, the higher ups.
you know-
Yeah, right.
yeah.
Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I was trying to get like an actual like name for it, but I know what you,
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
You know, and I can picture him saying like, okay, Mariachi's doing very well. I can see bands doing okay, orchestras doing okay,
Yeah.
but Mariachi's not from here. Like they want to see like those parents go like for the band meets. I don't know what they have.
Where are you talking about? Where band specifically only?
Yeah, I don't. Well, no, it doesn't matter. Point is, they're gonna look at band and orchestra as their primary.
It's called your bread and butter. Like that's your shit. That's the shit. For
Sure,
them.
you know what I mean. Like they're
Yeah.
gonna be like, well, Mariachi is kind of like, see, they're doing well, but like there shouldn't be a priority because they're not from here. If that makes sense.
No, I know what you mean. It's like
Because I feel like it can be recognized. Like how can you not see like a balloon player like digging into the strings and like great form, great intonation. Like you can't deny stuff like that.
mhm.
And that's why I feel like it's always gonna come back to like, okay, they're good, but they're not from here. Like, why should they get our full support?
Yeah. That's a good argument, man. I mean,
En la pelas,
because I mean, like what I'm saying is me as an educator, like I see it, man. Like and which is funny because our instruments are a lot cheaper.
Yeah,
A guitar's like $100, less than $200 for a good one.
The seller's like, bro, shut the fuck up. Like they're like selling for like 5 times that.
Oh yeah, right. But no, like our instruments are cheaper. Like it takes a lot less money. I would feel like to start a program. I mean, y es otra cosa I haven't talked about. You know how many people are wanting to start programs in Texas right now that I was at TMEA.
I heard a lot. No?
Dude, everywhere. Because again, we are fighting to get relevancy, but it's spreading its wings enough to where I can see people going to these workshops at TMEA or something, for example, to learn how to start a mariachi program from scratch. We got a dude, ladies and girl teachers, guy teachers, like ya más grandes or whatever, but they're coming in with the experience in orchestra or band, and they're coming in and like, I think we can start a mariachi program at my school. Like, I'm interested enough to try it.
Yeah.
So they'll come in and they'll watch a presentation to be like, okay, how do you start one? And they'll sit there and they'll listen to the arguments to try to do it, which is pretty crazy because again,
the PowerPoint is like things you need is like un guitarrón, dos guitarras, una botella. ¿Qué?
like la botella is for you, after school.
Yeah. After all this stress, te la chingas.
Yeah, te echas un traguito. Yeah, no, but it's cool to see because again, like I do think we're always going to be on that uphill battle with mariachi because again,
we're always going to be at disadvantage.
We're at it. Yeah, we're the underdogs. Think about it. We're literally the underdogs, and I do think also it would be a lot better too if all directors and everybody fought for it together. I do feel sometimes too that a lot of directors and music stuff like that. Because I mean, with like anything, you want to be the best football team, you want to be the best soccer team, but again, I feel like they don't have to fight for relevancy. They're already a main sport at a school. If we're all fighting each other, like as directors, I'm not saying this is what's going on, but I'm saying like if that is happening, if we're too busy fighting each other, like we're not fighting the big fight, which is like to make my music relevant in this state and not just this
or
state,
at least keep it at the
all
same
other
level as like all the other institutions.
Yeah.
No,
yeah, for sure.
Mi humilde opinión, güey.
En mi humilde opinión. Yeah. But I think, yeah. So back to our main point with Charro topic of the day is I think a lot of outside influences obviously are the things that are keeping and still making mariachi what it is to this day. I mean, because we who knows how it's gonna be in a couple years. I really don't know, but I mean, just based off of the arrangements and stuff like that, with nowadays that we're hearing, I mean, we're hearing mariachi a lot more, on the radio. And again, that's because of the artists and the people that are writing these arrangements for these artists that are blowing it up into proportion to make it relevant again. So we don't know where it's going to be like in a couple years. Because, I mean, no matter what, at a competition, people will still be playing the classics, no matter what. But at some point, to stay relevant, we're probably going to be playing more like that. Stuff like going into directions of today's music.
Simone.
So I think it's going to happen, but it just... Again, mariachi is much different, obviously, than it started off on. Like I said, we don't even use the guitarra de golpe anymore.
Which is what you're supposed to do,
Yeah.
Like, everything just changes. Like, you can't help it.
Yeah, I mean, if mariachi stayed the way it was, with a harp, 2 violins, and a guitarra, which someone actually, I didn't say that one, what was the biggest influence in mariachi, like, being today? One of them said Porfirio Diaz's government on Facebook. Someone sent me. And if you don't know the story behind that, it's because Porfirio Diaz had Vargas play at what? He made them, again, we don't know all the facts.
He made him like the official
mariachi of the police department.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. See? I taught it in my class.
Okay.
So I really hope I was correct. But yes, sorry. I don't know if I'm getting this wrong. They did become
Era como like the signature of Mexico, no? Or was that someone else?
I don't know.
You're talking about the 1920s, no?
Yes, because Mariachi Vargas came to Mexico City and established himself there afterwards. And point is, Porfirio Diaz had something to do with this.
Like
you look it up.
He put like mariachi more on this on the spotlight.
Sure. We have to get Dr. G back.
Like, maestro,
yeah. Point is, back to my main point before I went into that. A lot of influences or a lot of things have made mariachi relevant to what it is today. If it would have stayed the way it did, which was 2 violins, the harp, and the golpe, I mean, it could have stayed in Mexico. It could have stayed in those little towns. I mean, it's kind of like how he told us before. I mean, Silvestre Vargas would go around stealing people's sones. Listening to the sones like, damn, that's pretty good. You cooking up some good words. So then they record it with Vargas, and then you're like...
And the guy de Pueblito is like, that's a good song. Hey!
There go your song right there, bro. What the fuck? Like, I knew that, bro, and he was here, dude. He was
bar
creeping.
For bar, word for word.
Yeah, exactly.
Y el todo le cambió, güey, hijo de su pinche.
How dare they play it in tune too, bro? Like that, but like so if mariachi would have stayed the way it was, I mean, does that mean that it would even be would we even be playing mariachi here in the United States? Would it have stayed just in Mexico? Would have, to this day, like, would I be a golpe player only? Would you just be a harp player and where no trumpet ever came? Because there was no trumpet there either. So would it have just stayed how Silvestre wanted it, where it was just a mariachi full of strings?
I think it was Gaspar that wanted it.
No, it was Silvestre.
Was Silvestre?
Silvestre. For a while, he resisted the trumpet until, he got that trumpet with Miguel Martinez.
Because I thought he was like real buddies with Miguel.
Who?
Silvestre.
Yeah, like for a while he wanted to keep it as instrumentos de cuerdas for his group, and then he resisted until he was like, "All right, fine, we'll add the trumpet." Because other people in Mexico City were already using trumpet, but he wanted to keep it tradicional. Y así se quedó. Pero he was like, "All right, I guess we'll get a trumpet," and then Miguel Martinez entered the picture, and then the rest is history. Yeah. So let's get into Charro Chat because we didn't even talk about the weekend. Damn, está buena la plática, güey.
Me quedo a la casa. I want to
go. Charro Chat this week. You guys.
All for you, bro. I'll be on TikTok.
No, you gotta be listening. You gotta offer your opinion.
How did Sammy get such a good agility?
I don't think you want to know how I got
it.
good agility. I don't practice. I just si no practico. I just do
Okay,
it.
but when you did practice, like
When
how
I
would you
did
do it?
practice, I would just listen to a lot of music and try to play it until I could play it. Because you know what I mean? You know, like if you can't play it, you just try really hard.
It's do or die.
You practice until you can do it.
Yeah.
So that's all I did.
You know how hard it was trying to play like I don't know, like what's como el Gabelencillo way? Cause I remember like I learned Gabelencillo like by ear. Cause Dr. G gave me that album. Te imaginas way like I forgot the chords. But el manico, you're like like as a middle schooler, you kind of like hold up. Tres redobles in one measure, bro.
In one measure.
What the fuck? Like, fucking witchcraft, bro. How about to do this, bro?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's funny because, like, Dr. G was the one that first opened my eye with those Tepalcatepec recordings.
Oh, yeah.
Because were you in that van?
No, but he also introduced me to that.
Okay, so...
when my time came, I guess.
Yeah, so I still remember to this day, like, I didn't know that you could play different manicos. Because, again, there was no internet. You couldn't really see someone, like, you can't just look up Zombie Gavilancillo and then just play it. You know what I mean? Like him. Like, you had to listen to recordings.
Yeah.
So, one time we were driving to San Antonio. Dr. G was one of the chaperones. And he put on, like, you know how he would do? He would just be like, hey, guy, I still remember his voice. Listen to this. Because he was always giving you, like, a history lesson. Always. He was always giving you a history lesson. So, he's like, you guys listen to this. And he, like, popped it in. He was like, I'm gonna put you on some new shit, bro. Like it's basically like that. You know? So he was like, I'm gonna put you on real quick. So he popped in the CD, and the first song on that album is El Rey del Son. Right? So I was like, you know, empieza, and then you just hear like, you know, and I'm just like, as the head in me sitting in the back seat, like, like, because I didn't know that was possible. You know, like, I mean, I had listened to some recordings of Vargas and soul and stuff like that.
And like the thing is that Pato does do all that stuff, but you can't hear it because of the quality of the recording. If you listen really closely, se escucha like it's like tan 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 tan, but you only hear the tan tan.
Yeah,
you know?
It's not like clear. Yeah. So like when I heard it,
these recordings were new. They were like from like 2000s. Right?
They were from like the early 2000s, I think. Yeah. So like you know, recording technology got better. You know, it's mixed a lot better. Like you can actually hear specific chords and a manico and direction of the hand. You know, so you know that just blows my mind. And
WG knows how to deliver it because I mean, like for you it was there, but for us, he was just kind of like, hey, like you like those albums I gave you or whatever, like those old sones.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, sí, está con madre, you know.
Todo chiquillo.
Yeah. He's like, what if I told you those were the new sones? And that's when I was like,
what do you mean?
What do you mean? Because those, like lo que es como like, what was it? El Toro Viejo, El Marcumbe, and all these songs that were in those recordings. Those are considered new sones.
On that album?
Yeah.
Like El Son del Sampo.
No. I'm talking about Vargas.
Oh, you're talking about like this album? Like Sones de Jalisco?
Yeah. Those are considered new sones.
Oh, okay.
Like if you go to Mexico to those like old towns, like when people hear this, they're like, oh, those are the new drops. That's what he said.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So he's like, you want to hear like sones that are played like in those little villages, and that I think the first song he played for us from that album was like El Becerrero. Oh, okay. He's like, yeah, because this song has El Becerro. Pero aquí está el becerrero, cabrón. You know, you're like, you as a kid, you're like, oh, la virga. You know,
fucking
like,
sequel.
You're listening to like La Media Calandra, like, which starts with a fucking, you know?
Right. Oh, right. Yeah, it's like, un, dos, yeah, it's just freaking wild.
So the delivery had a lot of impact on me too, because I remember being like,
damn,
right.
Bro,
what the
like Dr. G had a way of hyping up everything. You know, like we gotta talk to him again, bro. Because honestly, it's chingón talking to him, man. Pero see, like he had a way of like hyping you up, and then you watch, because like again, like that's a lasting memory for me. Like,
yeah, me too.
Like I being in that van, some random part of Texas, and he just played these recordings that just blew my mind. Like, which I feel like that maybe that's lost nowadays. You can just be at home like,
it's your turn to do it, bro.
I tried. I told my students, like, go home and listen to this. They probably like put on the first song, like, because now it's new, you know. So they're just like, so they're playing some fancy stuff. Okay, whatever. This song's old, mister. Like, you know, like when did you say it was recorded? I was like, early 2000s. And like, That's like when I was. That's not even that long ago. Like like.
Oh, I thought you would say like
just
I
make
was
you
born
cry.
there.
Yeah. It's just like crying, dude. I'm just like, God damn, I fucking hate fucking kids. No, but no, for sure. Like, but I think that's what helped my technique. Like, I literally just sat down in my room. Like, you can ask my mom, bro. Like, go to my house and ask my mom. Like, ¿verdad que hacía un chingo de ruido, verdad? Like, and it was just 'cause I was in my room. Fucking fuck. Fuck.
Oh yeah, that's where I was going with con Cabroncillo. Like you didn't have like YouTube. We didn't have that thing back then
there
where
was
you could slow it down.
Yeah,
right?
you couldn't look up like cómo tocar gavilancillo.
No, I mean like because you could also slow stuff down. Like if you couldn't play at that speed,
playback speed.
Yeah. So like it was do or die, bro. Like you tried it, like you gotta crank, fuck, rewind.
You have to
until you build that stamina with your hand.
Yeah, and to this day, like I don't do that anymore, obviously, but obviously it's done me good because I mean that's the stuff that I'll play now, every once in a while. But yeah, I mean, you know how they say practice like helps. It does. Like
practice makes permanent.
You gotta like do it over and over and over again.
You gotta do it right though.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's true too. I would hear that I didn't sound like them, so I'd be like, damn. And I tried to get it as close to it as I could. And then you eventually start improvising or doing stuff like that, like because now you have a different like sound in your head. Or like, okay, let me try this or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
You hear someone else and you're like...
Yeah. Next question was, when looking for a new vihuela, does size matter?
Damn, bro.
I'm the last person you should ask about size matters, bro. Just ask my wife. She's like, it's perfect, babe. I'm like, what?
Oh, man. That was like a joke. Pero yo tengo respeto. Fuck. This is hard.
I know where you were going.
Yeah.
But anyway, with vihuela size, it doesn't. It just depends what is more comfortable for you. I have always said that I like a size 1 because I'm a little guy. I mean, my arms are not that long. So obviously I don't want a huge instrument. Some people will tell you a 2 is fine. Some will tell you that a 3 is a perfect size because it's a bigger one. It's como tú quieras. Are there guitarrón sizes? I've never seen a size 1, 2, or 3 guitarrón.
Yeah, you have.
Whose?
You show me videos of like this guy selling.
No, I've seen them, but I meant like
played them.
Like actually played one. Yeah.
Oh, I think I played a 1 a while.
They said
a long
that
time ago.
Randy Carrillo's guitarrón was a size 1. It was a smaller one.
Huh?
Me dijo Joe Frank. Shout out. He told me that he played it. Like I guess he met him. He picked it up. Y estaba bien livianito, estaba bonito, and se tocaba así chingón.
Okay.
I was like, dang, badass. Because if you ever watch Randy Carrillo, like he would play his bass almost like a table.
Well,
like,
it's because he has long ass hands. Like,
is it?
Yeah, compared to even to me, I think his hands are like
he's got big hands.
Yeah,
oh,
that's why he can sit his elbow because he has to lower his strap down.
Yeah,
and then like to do this.
Yeah, because like
and his hands are huge. Have you seen his hands?
No, I've never like been like, hey, Randy, can I see?
Well, I mean, you can see him when he's playing like up close because he's been to like Las Cruces and
I only went there once.
Albuquerque, I think. And when you see it up close, you're like, goddamn, like, parecen tarantulas.
Che hombre. Yeah.
Sí.
He retired.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder what he does now. Just chilling.
Well, it doesn't, I don't know. I'm just gonna.
But yeah, it just depends what is the most comfortable for you. But I will tell you my favorite is a size 1. Sorry, sue me. All right. Okay.
Right. Yeah, wait.
Someone else said, Sammy, how often do you refret your vihuelas or do you leave them how they came? I only change the frets if they're tan feas. Like sometimes you get the grooves of the strings in the actual fret from a long time. Like people have just been playing for a long time, so it creates grooves. So I'll change that. Or if they're like really uncomfortable, some people make some vihuelas with like the backs of where the fret is, and it stabs my hand because they're like made improper or they're made really like fat. They leave like a big piece, so it like stabs your hand. So I take them off and I refret it. It's not hard. If you're a vihuela player, go on YouTube and just literally look up how to refret vihuelas, and it just takes practice. But you don't have to pay me to do it. Just go home and do it. Just try it. Like people like really don't trust trial and error. Like people think people are just born with the ability to do things, but no. Like You fuck up a lot of times until you do it right consistently. It's literally all you have to do. That's literally all you have to do. And then the last one is, y'all doing Mother's Day? We always do Mother's Day.
And Mother's Day.
Day. Yeah, we're getting close because now it's the month of April. Close. Oh, it almost is. We still have 4 days in March, so that means by the start of next week, April Fool's Day is on Saturday.
It's Saturday?
Yeah.
Yeah, I put a prank on Arturo, bro. You're like, no, es que me guacareé.
No puede venir.
Like, no, vas a venir? No, la echamos, güey.
Oh yeah. I'm excited. I need to start vlogging again. I made a good vlog on the Mother's Day weekend.
Bro,
Yeah.
I feel like people like that.
They do like them. Everyone that talks to me about the pod always tells me, I really like the vlogs. And we've only had like 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, ves?
It's just, it gets time consuming, but I do want to do it again. I really do. Because I try to make it creative. Like, I don't want to just be like, and this is us eating, like, which I could.
You don't know how I'm like,
yeah, the freaking airport one, you were just like,
oh, I was?
when we went to El Paso, like, I
Okay.
filmed you eating your Shake Shack burger. You were just like, no me this cabrón. You're like eating like the burger. No, yeah, but I really want to vlog again because I mean that Mother's Day I did vlog. If you want to look at it, it's on the YouTube page if you want to look at that. But maybe soon. But Mother's Day is coming up, so we are getting geared towards that. Wow, we didn't talk about the weekend at all, and I didn't even play this weekend.
Yo tampoco. Wait.
I didn't think that we talked this much about the other thing. Maybe this will be like the episode that like people will listen to. That like maybe they're just as dumb as we thought.
Concurro.
Yeah. So if you guys enjoyed this podcast, we really appreciate if you like, comment, and subscribe. Remember that we're not asking you for money. Just please like it. It's for free. And then if you guys would like to keep listening, please subscribe onto the page or onto YouTube, so that way you can get some updates on when we release by every Wednesday. So we'll be on that.
Catch you on the flip side.
You got anything you got to say before we dip out?
No, muchas gracias. Aquí estamos echándole ganas. 100 likes on that video, so me and Sammy can make an all Spanish
podcast. Yeah.
Cuando quieran.
Is
it on the 103rd one, right?
The episode before this one.
I put some hype on it.
Yeah. You should screen record that
That's
part.
what I was gonna do, but
Yeah.
se me sigo olvidando. Eh?
You have access to the Instagram too. Like you can post something.
I am.
It's like my nudes. I'm like, how do you have that?
I'm like, aquí le voy a dar. ¡Ay! ¡Qué rico! Sorry.
But yeah, that's it for us today. I hope that you guys have a good rest of your week, and I hope that you guys are safe.
Yeah. Be safe, guys.
Nos vemos.
Man.
I feel really hot. Is it just me? I feel really hot. I think I'm gonna die. Morir.